Hello, Stitchers. How's it going? I think this is going to be kind of a long video today, so those of you who dig long videos, you're in for a treat. And if you don't like long videos, sorry. So I'm going to show you two finishes. A WIP, I'm sorry, three finishes, two WIPs, and something new, a new project I got. And then I'm going to do two tags. I'm going to tackle Pam's stitching style tag, which I have meant to do and just haven't gotten around to it. And then I'm going to do Donna's curiosity tag. So let's get started. I finally finished, well, in the Plague Edition video when I was sick, I think I showed you all my Agatha Christie that was almost done except for Agatha Christie's name. And I just thought I'd show you. Here it is. Totally finished for sure. Still needs washed and ironed and framed and all of that. But I have some time to do that. And Deneen had commented that she really loves Poirot, and I do too. Like his little mustache is what totally sold me on this pattern, Deneen. I was like, shut up and take my money, I want Poirot. Because I grew up, my mom's a big mystery lover, and so there was always a lot of Agatha Christie in my house growing up, and like, you know, PBS would show the British miniseries of Poirot with David Suchet and Miss Marple, if I forget which actress played Miss Marple. So there was always a lot of that in the house. So this was very nostalgic. And it was good fun. And I mostly can do French knots now. Mostly. And finally, because I finally found the elusive DMC 3371, I was able to finish the Wee Little Stitches Pixel People A New Hope project for my daughter. She is super psyched. And I will link to them down below. You can get it on Etsy still. May the Force Be With You is something I added just because I felt like, why would I have a little Star Wars lineup without May the Force Be With You on it? I mean, that just seems so wrong. So I found, I Googled like free backstitch alphabets and picked one. And it's not perfect, but that's okay because I'm not perfect. And my daughter loves it, so it's okay. Yay. Also needs washed, ironed, all that. And another finish, which I got from, I went to Joann's when they were having their sale, and I got a couple of cross-stitching magazines, which I had never done, and it was really hard to find them. But I found them near the checkout. I got Cross Stitch Crazy, which is a British publication, I think. And I got two of them, and, I'm glad I got them, but there's not a lot in here that I'm going to stitch, but there's a lot of little tiny things that I think would be good to put in cards and things like that. And this, the March issue in particular actually has some card patterns in here, and I did one. It was a busy weekend, so it didn't take me it would have taken me an evening if it had not been a busy weekend, but my grandfather is turning 90 this month, and so I stitched him that, and then I'll fray it and mount it on a card, and so that'll be fun. I wanted to do something for him. I mean, he doesn't really want any presents, and you know, when I'm 90, I'm probably not going to want gifts either, so, but I wanted to do this. And over here I have started this card. It says Best Dad Ever on it, that I'm going to stitch for my dad for Father's Day. So, super quick, fun. I think they'll appreciate those. My Fibery Friends sampler is plugging along. I kind of stopped to take a little break because I found a mistake. But it's not a huge mistake, and I just need to sit down, frog a little bit, but don't wanna. Gonna have to. Don't wanna. Not right now. But here it is. Can you see? Can you see? I think you can see. I'm really liking this, and I am adoring the linen. Like, there are no more screams of anguish. It's really fun. And each little component of this, like the sheep or the socks or the scarves, the spinning wheel, or the alphabet, it all, you know, you finish it and it feels like you've done a little mini finish. So it's very motivating. I like it a lot. And what next? Oh, so those of you in Stitch Mania know that coming up in June is the Orange is the New Black Stitch Along. Wait, it's June now. June 12th. That weekend is the Orange is the New Black Stitch Along. I don't watch Orange is the New Black. I almost started watching Orange is the New Black the other night, but then I was looking through Netflix and I was like, ooh, American Horror Story. I've never seen that. And so I started watching American Horror Story because I like spooky, disturbing stuff sometimes. And so I started watching that. So I will not be watching along with you all, but I will be stitching along with you all. And someone, and I can't remember who, posted a few weeks ago that she had found this limited edition Biscornu pattern. And I've been wanting to stitch a Biscornu. And I saw this and I was like, ooh, must have. So it's, then the glare is terrible. Happy Jack Tuffet. I'm trying to make glare go away and it's not working. There we go. Physics. A little closer. Yes, physics. Okay. I'm excited. Perfect. So, this is Cherished Stitches. So you could, I'll put the link to their website below. I don't know if it's still available, but if it is and you're interested, you can grab it up. And that's a kit, so it comes with the pattern, obviously, and it comes with linen. This is, what is this? 35 count. 35 count linen, so I'm going to have to do some measuring and figure out. I mean, this should be, I mean, obviously, that's enough for a Biscornu. Yeah, no, I think, oh, what is the company? Carolyn just finished a Biscornu from them. Oh my God, I can't remember. But anyway, there were 2 little pieces of linen, So you didn't really have to think too much about it. Thinking is hard sometimes. Anyway, beautiful. I love orange. So, comes with that, and it comes with a Weeks Dye Works floss, which I'm really excited about because I have only ever used DMC. And as it comes on a little card, it's not all wrapped up. It feels very posh, and I'm liking it. So this is the color Molasses. Molasses. So it's showing up kind of black, but it's a very deep brown. It's actually a little paler than Molasses, guys. Just saying. Weird mood today, excuse me. And then the part that I'm actually most nervous about is the pattern has beads, and you can't see because, trust me, there are beads in this bag. There are, oh hell, I don't know what size they are. Let's look and see if the instruction says. No. It probably does somewhere. Doesn't say. They're bigger than seed beads. Anyway, I've never done beading, so I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm also kind of excited because I want to eventually, you know, do some mirabilias, and Mirabilia loves their beads, so I am excited. This is going to be super duper fun. La 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 la. That's all I have to show you. So I will put the, you know what, I can put this away later because you don't want to see me struggle with this for however long it's going to take me to get everything back into this little bag. Not as long as you would watch me struggle putting the bottom back into a springform pan, mind you, because that shit can take hours. Got my notebook that has all the tag questions written down. All right. And if I start sweating profusely, I turned off the air conditioner so that you could hear me better. But it's summer in Philadelphia, and yeah. Sometimes in Philly, it's like, well, I can't speak for people who live in, say, the American Southwest, but sometimes, you know, in Philly in the summertime, it's like, wow, if hell was a real place, I bet there were parts of it that would be, you know, cool and comfortable compared to summer in Philly. But that's neither here nor there. Anyway, so if you see me start sweating, it's because I'm an idiot and turned off the air conditioner. Pan stitching style tag. What is your favorite fabric? Linen. I have only just started using linen, and I love it. I love it. I told Coffee Stitcher that if linen were a person, I would have sex with it. And if that lowers your opinion of me, I don't care. My body is ready. Yeah, I love it. I have not yet tried like a Lugana or Joblin yet. But I want to. I actually have a couple of pieces of fabric. Well, I mean, it's like Joann's even weave, but for I will be trying it. But linen. Yes. Hoop or frame? Question 2. Right now I'm using hoops and my Michaels knockoff Q-snap. I would like to try a frame someday. I'm open to suggestions of frames. But right now, generally, hoop or frame, or sometimes when things are really, really finicky, I just do neither and just hold the fabric in my hand and stitch that way. Yeah. Question 3. Do you use a stand or just hold your frame? I just hold it. A stand would be awesome. Someday I want to try parking, and it seems to me that doing a two-handed stitching method with parking would be would just make parking easier. So eventually I would like a stand, but I don't know when that's going to be, because really nothing on Heaven and Earth Designs really just, you know, grabs me and says, yes, you must stitch this, except for maybe a couple of the bookmarks, but that's not going to happen for a while. What is your favorite time to stitch? My favorite time to stitch is in the morning. With, you know, partner off to his office drone job and my kid off to preschool, and if I don't have any clients, and, you know, I can just sit down, preferably in my living room now, because we have windows and there's just a lot of really nice natural light, and I can just chill and stitch for a while. That's my favorite time to stitch. I will try to squeeze stitching time in during the day anytime I can. But if I had to pick a favorite, it would be first thing in the morning. Do you use a printed paper copy or go digital? I do both. I do not own a tablet, which I think if I did have a tablet, I would use digital copies more often, because then I could take my tablet with me. With my digital patterns right now, I have to confine myself here at my desk if I want to stitch them, and I prefer to stitch not at my desk, so that would be my ideal. But right now, whatever the pattern is, however I can get the pattern, is how I get it. So some are paper, some are digital. Are you a floss licker? Yes. I am an unabashed, unashamed floss licker, because that's how I learned. Do you hoard projects and supplies or buy as needed? For cross stitch, I tend to buy as needed. It's because I have a large yarn and fleece stash, and I don't like clutter and crap and stuff, and I figured, you know, when I took up cross stitching, like, I'm going to try to keep the supplies I need for this as small as possible, like the space as small as possible. So I do have a few things in my stash, like I mentioned, the even weave fabric I have, and some patterns, but generally I buy things as I need them for cross stitch. Knitting and spinning is another matter. Are you a serial starter, or do you have one WIP at a time? I generally, in an ideal world, I'd have about 3 WIPs going at a time. I like finishing things, so I would not consider myself a serial starter, because I like to at least tell myself that I have a prayer of finishing what I'm starting. So I'm generally a 2 to 3 WIPs at a time person. Do you have more FFOs or UFOs? I'm going to say I have more FOs, not FFOs, but more FOs. I have more finishes than not, but most of them are not like pristine and ready to be displayed or hung somewhere. They're finished, but it's still just a piece of cloth with the stitching on it. So Do you watch TV while stitching? Often, yes. I will watch Netflix, usually, because I'm not a really big network TV person. But another thing I like to do, I usually do this when I'm spinning, but I love books, and so I have my audible.com account, and often what I will do is, rather than watch, I will listen to a book, and that's fun. And also, I watch FlossTube, or listen to FlossTube. That's particularly fun because it feels like you're stitching with friends. Do you mostly stitch alone or with a buddy? I mostly stitch alone. It would be nice to have stitchers nearby to stitch with. I think having a Google Hangout sometime with some FlossTube folks would be super fun. Because that kind of feels like, you know, you're in the room with the person and talking. I used to have, before I moved to Philly, I had a wonderful knitting group that met 2 Sundays a month, and they were all so wonderful, and it was such fun to just sit and stitch and talk, and stitch and knit and talk, or, you know, some people crocheted, and it was good. So having a crafty group, you know, meet up once a month or a couple times a month is really great. And if you can find a group of friends to do that with, I highly recommend it. Do I experiment or alter charts, or just do as written? Mostly I do what I'm told. I have found a wedding sampler that I want to stitch for my partner and I. We're going to be married 10 years on July 14th, and I'd really like to do that for our 10th, and I want to change the color scheme of the sampler I found, and I don't know how to do it and make it still look nice. So I might pester Coffee Stitcher and Angie and anyone else. If you want me to pester you about how to alter colors, just leave a comment and I will pester you. But mostly do what I'm told. Do you bobbinate floss or no? Yes, I bobbinate my floss. I find it very meditative, actually. Just, you know, sit down and listen to something and just wind floss. I like it. Do you start a project in the middle of the fabric or at the corner? I mostly start in the middle. For my Fibery friends, I did not. I started at the top. And it was scary, but I did it, and I think it looks good. Often what I will do, if there's a part of the chart that I really want to stitch first, it's just really calling to me, I will start in the middle and stitch about a square inch of stuff in the middle, and then I can kind of count over to where I actually want to stitch, and then start there, and then just work from there. So that's generally what I do. Do you have a WIP rotation? Not yet, because I need more WIPs, but I want to. It seems really efficient. You know, I watch a lot of you who have WIP rotations, and it seems to work really well for you. And you seem to really have fun with it, and it seems to help keep you interested in everything that you're doing. And it seems like you are more successful as far as finishes go. So, yeah, I want to. I just need more projects. Do you use a timekeeper to keep track of how long it takes to complete a project? No. I think it would be cool. It's not me. Just never have. About the only thing I do is I date. When I finish something, I initial and date it. Do you use the parking technique? Nope, but I wanna. 19. Do you keep your orts? No. I don't really get the appeal. Personally, although D Stitcher mentioned when she did this tag that she saves her orts and then throws some of them out for the birds to use in their nests, and that just warmed my hippie little heart. And so I think I might occasionally just put some aside for birdies and just toss the rest, but yeah, in general, no, I do not save my orts. Last question. Do you like to have a snack or a drink while stitching? Drinks only, usually water or coffee or tea. That's it. I don't like to risk getting things dirty, so generally just a drink. So that was fun. Thank you, Pam. Thank you very much. Let's move on to Donna's curiosity tag. Woohoo! 10 questions. How long have you been stitching for? Seriously? Like seriously stitching? 4 months? Maybe? I think so. Not long. When I was a wee one, my Nana taught me some basic cross stitch, like we get printed like pillowcase patterns and stuff, and I did some cross stitch and embroidery on those, and it was fun, but I was like 7 and other things interested me, like knitting and running around like a crazy person. So I didn't really pick stitching up again seriously until about 4 months ago. And even then, that was a surprise. I've been looking for an embroidery pattern, like beginner's embroidery patterns, and Michael's didn't have any, but they had that little hummingbird sampler, and I thought, what the hell? And I did that, and I was like, ooh, I want more. More! So I did. Question number 2. Do you prefer framing your projects or making cushions or wall hangings? I don't know. Framing is nice, but I also really like the idea of cushions and wall hangings. Like my Bless This Wretched Hive sampler. Folks suggested I make that into a cushion, and I think I will. I just need to learn how to sew. And, you know, I have plans for my Little House Sheep Virtues banner, which would be a wall hanging. And someday I want to do, oh, it's not Frosted Pumpkin, Clouds Factory. Clouds Factory's Magical Creatures calendar. I want to do that, and I'd like to do it as a wall hanging. I just need to learn how to sew. So right now, framing is about all I have the skill to do, but I want to expand so I can finish projects in other ways. Who's your favorite designer? Don't really have one yet. I like Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery and Clouds Factory because I find the patterns are very clear and very straightforward. But I like the look of Mirabilia and Little House I don't really have a favorite yet. I haven't been stitching long enough to really have a favorite. What is the most you've paid for a design project and floss? The most I have paid, I paid $35 US for my Fibery Friends sampler kit. So that included linen, floss, needles, pattern. I think that's all it really required. Yeah, and I mean, I'm glad I did, because I'm new and I don't really know what all of my fabric options are and where to get it and how much, how much to buy for any given project, blah, blah, blah. So it was just it was very appealing to have someone have figured all that out for me. I'm going to have to learn, but at the time I was just like, screw it. Let's do it. How many hours have you stitched on a project in one day? Consecutively, maybe 2.5. Cumulatively, 5 or 6. Cumulatively, if it's on a weekend and it's kind of a lazy weekend, and then I can just pick up and stitch intermittently all day, it's probably been about 5 or 6 hours. But for just sitting down at once, from sitting down to standing up, the most I've done is like 2.5 hours. I have a preschooler. It's kind of busy around here. Have you got any FFOs where you have a major mistake but you wouldn't notice? I have a couple that have minor mistakes that you wouldn't notice, but nothing major. I'm a little too twitchy to just let a huge major mistake go, even if it wouldn't be noticeable. I would know, and but for minor things, if I can kind of fudge it, that's fine. But as far as a major mistake, no, I do not. What is your favorite project, the one you are most proud of? Fibery Friends sampler. First attempt at linen. And yeah, which was scary because I haven't been doing this for very long. And but I did it, and I love it, and I'm really proud of myself. Number 8. If you lost your stitchy bug, what would make it come back? Probably a combination of things. I would probably knit, or I would pull out a bunch of fiber and spin for a while, listen to a book. Just spend a couple of weeks doing one of my other hobbies and keep watching FlossTube, and I'm sure it would come back. Has not yet happened, but that's my plan if it ever does. Number 9. Do you have to make sure you finish a project, or can you just leave them for a couple of months and do new starts? I like finishing. I really do. But sometimes you just get sick of looking at something, and so then yeah, I would pick up a new start with every intention of coming back to the thing that's pissing me off. And my water dragon is doing that to me right now, and I'm in July when we do the wine and whips stitch along. Water dragon is the whip that I will be whining about in July, and so that will get finished this summer. So I guess as far as the question, I'm kind of middle of the road, because I do like to have finishes. I don't like clutter, and UFOs tend to clutter up the place, and so I will I'm good with putting something, kind of on hold for a month or so, but I have to go back to it. Last question, question number 10. Most hated type of stitch. There's nothing I really hate yet. I haven't done any specialty stitches yet, although I would like to at some point. So right now I just know like full crosses and back stitch and French knots. And I'm going to say I guess the one I like the least is French knots because they still give me a little bit of anxiety, but I wouldn't say I hate them. And backstitch can be annoying, especially when you have to do a lot of it, but at the same time I would never not do the backstitching because it just ties the whole project together and makes it pop and makes it look awesome. So those are the two that kind of, they're not my favorite, but I would always do them anyway. Like that's the big thing with my my water dragon. All I have to do now is the back stitching, and oh dear God, there's so much back stitching on the water dragon. And I've done some of it on the dragon's face, and I can't imagine not doing the back stitching because it makes her pop and makes her look even more beautiful. So thank you, Donna, for that one. It was fun. I like tags. I have not yet come up with enough questions to sort of start my own. A lot of questions I have are not really all stitching related, so we'll see. When the fall comes around, I might write a Halloween one because Halloween is one of my favorite holidays. But we'll see. So that's all I got. About under 40 minutes here. So probably not the longest FlossTube video that ever was, but longer than I usually go. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today and spending some time. Thank you for commenting and thank you for subscribing. You guys are so great. And I hope you have a great week. And I look forward to seeing your videos and your projects as always. So take care, guys.